Before I met my husband, I was submerged in my journey with the Lord, going on my 4th year since giving my life to Him. I never truly knew what love was until I met Jesus. Nothing else ever truly compared to the way I felt while in fellowship with the Lord. Because of my ugly past of promiscuity, I often struggled with thoughts and feelings of unworthiness. I thought I'd never truly meet the one at times, because the thoughts of my past always tried to haunt me and remind me of who I'd used to be, but no longer was after I'd surrendered to Christ. I had experienced so much heartbreak and betrayal from family and others after coming to Christ, and that further tried to cloud my perception of what God had in store for my life. Until the day I met my husband, on my birthday in 2023. I'll spare a lot of the details because I actually have a full testimony video that I can link for you guys to check out. Since I had some apricots on hand that were going bad, I decided to make up some strawberry apricot preserves and top our waffles with that, and it turned out really good. So I'll link just my strawberry preserves recipe down below. I'm also using the whole wheat pancake recipe for these waffles, and they actually work interchangeably whether you want to do pancakes or waffles. I'll link that down below as well. But I'm just here to testify that the Lord completely surprised me with a wonderful, godly, loving man. He gave me more than I could have asked for, and He knew exactly what I needed in a man. It was almost like a movie how it all happened, truthfully. 3 months later, we got married, and I moved to sunny Florida, where I had met my husband. Funny story, God actually showed me months prior, I think a couple years prior, that one day I would live in Florida. And I greatly desired to live in Florida and just be by the ocean. And God came through. I didn't know how I was going to make it happen to live in Florida, with it being, rather expensive, especially in South Florida where we reside. But it came to pass not long after. Pretty much as soon as we got married, I conceived our now 1-year-old baby girl by God's grace. I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I remember how hard it was to try and pay my own rent, plus keep up with a ton of other bills by myself. Even as a waitress working at a nice restaurant in Midtown Atlanta, God knew exactly what I needed, when I needed it, and He did not underdeliver one bit. To have a husband that's able to provide for our family while I stay at home and raise our baby girl is truly a dream come true. And I am so beyond grateful. I never could have imagined myself being in this position. I had always thought that it was too good to be true. Some days I just ponder and think about how blessed I am to be in this position today. I didn't see it coming, and I can't take the credit. It was all the hands of God. I pray that this encourages and uplifts your spirit, those of you who may be in your season of waiting for the one. One thing I learned was just to surrender to God's process and timing, because His plan is always better. May the Lord grant you patience, strength, and self-control in this season. I promise you, it'll be worth the wait. The transition from being in the hustle and bustle, working outside of the home, to being a stay-at-home mom hasn't been the easiest transition. More on that in another video. But through it, the Lord has been teaching me more and more about sound biblical womanhood and how much value we as women can add to the home if we're here full time. I understand that it isn't possible, maybe in this season, or feasible for all of us, but I know the Lord is putting an emphasis on women staying at home rather than working outside of the home. It's just too hard to do both, predominantly when there are children in the home. This next recipe that I'm making is my sourdough granola recipe. And if you guys would like the full printable version, you guys can find that on my blog. It's prudentbalance.com, and I'll link that in the description box below. I've also tried this recipe without sourdough starter, and it has worked just as beautifully. So you have the option to do big clusters, which is what I'm going to be doing, or you can also do the smaller clusters as well. If you're someone who desires to stay home, but maybe you don't see how that could be possible, I'm standing with you in faith that the Lord could make a way even when there seems like there is no way. And it may take some adjustments for a season to make that happen, but I believe that nothing is impossible with God. So even though I pretty much burnt these crackers, lesson learned, I will not roll them out as thin next time. I think I rolled them out a little too thin this time, but they actually taste really good. Maybe not the ones all the way out on the end, but a couple rows in, they have like a nice, just a slightly overdone taste, but they're super crispy and the flavor is on point overall. Now that I stay at home, it gives me so much more time just to be in the kitchen, which is honestly my happy place. I love to just be in the kitchen, trying out new recipes. God has also given me the grace in this season to start my very own blog. So that is where I put a lot of the recipes that I am trying out and perfecting and that are just delicious and wholesome. I will be uploading those onto my blog. So again, it's prudentbalance.com. If you guys want to check it out, that would be greatly appreciated. I have a lot of sourdough recipes on there. Not everything is sourdough. I also have some dinner recipes and some sides. So I'm just in the process of building it up from the ground up. And it's been a really fun process. And what I love about just the different seasons of life is that you'll kind of, as time goes on, you learn more and more about who you are. And you find out that it's like God highlights things that He put inside of you that you didn't know were there before. And so I'm absolutely loving this journey of motherhood and marriage. This is all new to me, fairly new to me. And I've been learning so much in the process of it. That's the thing about seasons in life, is that even when you're in a difficult season, you can take heart and know that it's not going to last forever. There will be, and in fact, there is a light at the end of that tunnel, even though it may seem dark when you're going through it. I can just tell you guys, there's been so many times in my life where I just did not see how a situation could turn out for the better. But God reminded me of His power and His love for me, and that He looks down upon our afflictions, even when we don't realize it. God is always in our midst when we acknowledge Him. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I truly hope that it blessed and encouraged you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this video, and also consider subscribing as well. I'll see you guys on the next one.